come the butchers to cut you into profit.
But Sean Raz from Raz Radio.
Yeah, he's from Raz Radio. Raz is our guy. I mean, you're Sean, Mother effing Raz.
Here come the butchers to cut you into profit.
I'm with the Raz. I'm with the Raz right now. Where is Mother effing Raz?
Join me, Sean Raz, for the first 52, Tuesday, 6 to 8 p.m., RazRadioLive.com. The simple power of truth.
We all live in different realities. There's no doubt about that. They're trying to form a one unified reality. But as we start to look towards what we're trying to actually get to, and that is liberty, freedom, justice for all, which is a global cry. We are now knowing within from all the internet realms that this is a global cry. It doesn't matter if you're in the Netherlands and what you should be doing. And that's exactly what you should be doing. And that's exactly what you should be doing. And the synchronicities will start to unfold, and then you'll actually believe in miracles. Anything that comes your way, go with it and do it to your fullest. You know, that's my message to the world, because it'll guide you to your soul's purpose. And if you let your light shine, you know, to your fullest when something comes your way, then it'll magnify and become even more than you ever anticipated. And the best thing is that everything's better than you could have ever dreamed it. Everything's better than you could have ever dreamed it. Everything's better than you could have ever. And I know that's a hard message to sell when the BP oil spill, with the volcanoes, with the corruption, with everything that's going down, the police state, you know, all of it. It's hard to tell people to regain their faith in humanity, to forgive the anger that you have for these people that have trespassed on you, and to just start seeking the new existence. But we have to. That's what we have to do. We're the voice now. We're the voice now. We're the voice now.
Being a cat can be damn tedious. People dangling bells and bits of string in your face all the time. Just be a dog. Run around, catch frisbees, pee on a fire hydrant. Life's more rewarding, and you get access to lots of treats. Catch Salty Talk Mondays and Wednesdays, and every Friday for Salty's Weekend Warm-Up, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Add a little salt to your life, and be more dog.
It's time for a TF52 flashback. The BVO ingredient was used as a flavor emulsifier. Emulsifier, thank you. Helping to distribute Gatorade's coloring throughout the bottle, Carter said.
Now, you were never a guest on Sesame Street, were you?
No. I was on the Muppets once, though, when I was a kid. They did a live Muppets show. They used to do them. Dave, you
really?
Yeah, they used to do them back in the 80s. Do you remember it? It was actually a show on TV. And it was
sorry to derail your story, but
not hard to do,
hilarious.
Self-derailed.
Which is usually how it happens. Anyway, where was I? So now the company, help through color, Carter said. Now the company is swapping in another emulsifier.
Oh, there's that word again. Emulsifier.
That word, emulsifier.
Things that mix things up.
Yeah.
I don't know this word, so I'll just make one up.
You know, you think I know that because we use that a lot in culinary when I was in culinary school. Yeah. You know, because you emulsified stuff a lot. I think it's just because it's emulsifier. That's confusing.
You still practice that technique.
I think it's the marijuana.
No, I don't do that kind of stuff. Never. With another emulsifier with an intimidating name, sucrose acetate
You know, if you want me to read these, it's really
read that last sentence.
Oh, you're gonna give me some like effed up. I don't even know where you're at.
Last
here.
sentence. It's the last sentence.
The BVO ingredient was used as a flavor emulsifier, helping to distribute Gatorade's coloring throughout the bottle, Carter said. Now the company is swapping in another emulsifier with an intimidating name, sucrose acetate isobutrate. If you can't frickin' pronounce it, you shouldn't eat it.
Yeah, no shit, right?
Yo, they keep talking about a global solution. Why don't they go back to basics? Gold, silver, commodities, real economy. Will fail and fail hard. They don't think the people's in charge. We'll stand tall, we'll never fall, and we can't stop till it's freedom for all. Tyranny will fail and fail hard. They don't think the people's in charge. We'll stand tall, we'll never fall, and we can't stop till it's freedom for all. A global awakening is happening. The enemy is napping in their palaces. We breaking up their fallacies. Man, please, they tell us that the government must do it all. Civil liberties and justice nailed to a cross. But we not buying it, even though they trying this. Global governance, I mean global government, same thing. Welcome to the world of double speak. The mainstream media keep the masses asleep. But there's a remnant, like my man Ron Paul. In the U.S. alone, 1 million or more. And let's not talk about all over the world. Too many to count, too many you found. The truth about what's going on around them. How men conspire to drown them in the sea of pain and suffering. But it's not enough of them if some of us got up and fought to win. Wicked ones will fail and fail hard. They don't think the people's in charge. We'll stand tall, we'll never fall, and we can't stop till it's freedom for all. The enemy will fail and fail hard. They don't think the people's in charge. We'll stand tall, we'll never fall, and we can't stop till it's freedom. Are we gonna wait till they hear the kick down the door when it's too late? How much suffering must we endure? A new fate is what we need. Erase these fucking thieves. It needs to be done for our kids to breathe. Cause we up against those that will kill our seed. Call it eugenics, I call it murder. But if you turn on CNN, it's unheard of. Welcome to the Matrix. Here's the red pill, take it. Don't choose to live your life faking it. After all, America the Great has been hit with blows from globalist foes with big chips from a scheme with money they print from thin air. A central bank like the Fed, we've been there and it's been fed and fought with blood was bought. What little freedom was acquired, but we back in the fire. Too many frogs in the pot, don't feel it getting hot. Wicked ones will fail and fail hard. They don't think the people's in charge. We'll stand tall, we'll never fall, and we can't stop till it's freedom for all. The enemy will fail and fail hard. They don't think the people's in charge. We'll stand tall, we'll never fall, and we can't stop till it's freedom. Yo, talk to a person on the street and they feel it in their gut. They might not be able to pinpoint what, but they can feel that something's up, that there's a giant above them ready to crush. But the bigger they are, the harder they fall. So lovers of liberty and justice push on to victory, and I feel blessed fate picked me to be a part of the greatest movement. In the middle of chaos, the thought is soothing, confounding the wicked cause they targets moving. They only good at killing the sheep, but wait till they get what they reap. Weeping and gnashing the teeth for all of the evil they wreak. Every time truth we speak, the machine creaks as we launch attacks from beneath and patiently await their defeat. Wicked ones will fail and fail hard. They don't think the people's in charge. We'll stand tall, we'll never fall, and we can't stop till it's freedom for all. The enemy will fail and fail hard. They don't think the people's in charge. We'll stand tall, we'll never fall, and we can't stop till it's freedom for all. Yo, I want everybody to check out Infowars.com. Support your man Alex Jones. He's fighting the good fight. Get your storable foods. Get your weapons. Learn how to live off the land, cause it's about to go down.
of it. You'll never be a part of it, but you'll never be a part of it. So rise up, fight the police line. So rise up, fight the police line. Rise up, so rise up, so rise up, fight the police line. Rise up.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Huh. My goodness. I don't really care how deep that rabbit hole goes right this second. Welcome to the First 52, RazRadioLive.com, Twitch TV /Sean Raz1, Salty Talk Radio, Radio Confluence, Radio Chaos, where else? Oh, Replay Bubba Army Radio on Sundays, 4 p.m. All right, that's all that kind of stuff thrown out there. I'm a little, for Total will tell you, I'm a little verklempt. Verklempt? Is that what it is, verklempt?
Yes, definitely verklempt.
Oh my God, I was just running around like a total idiot. Well, I got to turn this down. Dave worked on my computers this past week, so some things are out of tweak. Just because I didn't get there and fix them. So.
And then just before you got to fix them, you had a call.
Yeah. So I've been running around like an idiot for the past, 15 minutes, give or take?
Yeah.
So anyway, honey, are you over there?
Yep.
Are you verklempt like I am?
No.
No?
I'm pretty chill.
All right, that's good to hear, because somebody needs to be chill around here, because it definitely ain't me right now.
We're both chill, man. You're the only one who's stressing out.
Well, I stress out sometimes. I don't know what to tell you.
Relax, man.
Remember, you don't make money on this show, man.
I had entries to do today. My sinuses are all effed up, so I sound like shit. I'm stressed out at work. I'm stressed out just in general. Lexi's camera doesn't work, so there's no shot of her for you guys tonight. All you get is me and Four Toad.
She's not wearing a low cut top anyway, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Business attire.
Well, we could switch seats if you want, but
yeah, maybe halfway through the show we can do that.
I don't like the camera anyway.
I think Salty and Katie are going to be joining us at one point in time, about 6:30ish.
When did you guys start calling Katie? Because that's what
we've always called him Katie. Katie from the OD.
Yeah, but see, Katie makes me think Katie.
Katie. Yeah, you're thinking KT.
Right.
Not KD.
Right.
Kevin Dell.
I just know him as Kevin, yeah.
Yeah, he's a refugee from North Carolina. He's been staying at Salty's. He hung out with us on Sunday, stayed at Four Toads, went back to Salty's. He had to play with chickens some more, so, he had to go back over there.
Salty's got a bigger house than I do.
He's got a bigger house, and he's got more chickens. You don't have any chickens.
And it doesn't smell as bad.
Well, I don't know. He's got chickens, lots of them, and ducks.
Yeah, but it doesn't smell like rotting fish.
Yeah, I know. It's killing me. We've never smelt it here, and if you can hear me, it's a combination of part of my jobs I go through every Tuesday and Thursday, and I clean entryways, knocking bugs out of the lights, and just making it look nice and be nice. That gets me every once in a while, but then you add the red tide into it, and you get this.
Yeah.
Gross! Don't do it like
that.
Close to
Drive me fucking nuts.
When I got out of the car an hour and a half ago to come in here, I could actually, I slightly smelled it, and it's not nearly as bad as it is at my place, but it's like, wow, man, we are we're not real far away from the coast, but we're far enough away to I can't believe you could still smell it.
10 years living here. I've been through multiple red tides. Not this bad, obviously. We've been through some bad ones, though.
But never here.
Never where we could smell it here. So
now you understand that. If you could smell it here, how bad is it at my place, which locks me in my fucking apartment?
Oh, it's got to be unbearable.
By
far.
Because my laundry's outside, right? And I go outside and I gotta put my nose into my shirt, just to go outside to do fucking laundry.
Yeah.
And I stay in my apartment all day.
Yeah, it really does suck that this is going on here. Yeah, hopefully it'll straighten out soon enough.
It'll straighten out just in time for the tourists to come.
Yeah, right.
And that's when people will care, because if it lasts till the tourist, then it becomes a big deal. They don't give a fuck about the people that live here.
A humongous deal. If
Yeah.
you really get down into it, it really does become a humongous deal at that point in time.
Yeah, it's like that White Elephant, that restaurant. They had to cancel Sunday Fun Day because I went out of my apartment at 8 o'clock in the morning and it's fucking smelled, right? And they had to cancel because nobody's coming out to the places there. The White Elephant.
Right,
closed.
they were losing money.
That pizza place is closed. Well, they closed.
They closed. That's
for
vacation.
right?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing that most of us don't remember is that this is actually Razfest time. I 2 times on my history in Facebook.
Popped up Razfest this week.
Well, because I always go through it every day, right? And so there was the last Razfest, and there was the Wanna Be in Razfest was this time 3 and 4 years ago.
Yeah, that's about when we planned it. I think the first. Well, I thought they were closer to the 20-something. Either way, we haven't had one in almost 3 years now.
Well, we did it because it was before the water got too cold and before the tourists got here.
Right. Yeah.
And now you
miss
can't,
it.
Yeah, you can't go in the water now. Thank God we didn't have it.
I miss Razfest every once in a while. You got to miss it every once in a while.
Well, if we do a Razfest again, we can't do it like the last one.
No, the debauchery that happened that night.
And I was actually partially responsible for all that shit. And I'm not doing that again.
Yeah, it was a good time. I mean, there were some people that were kind of like, oof, but I mean, it was fun overall. I just like when we all get together anyway.
But it's just a little crazy. And I actually, that was the first week that weekend was the first after that Razfest, like Sunday when everyone went home Sunday morning, and me and Amber had to clean up the place.
We're left there, yeah.
I slept for hours because my body was so beat up from
partying and having a good time.
What was the alcohol? It wasn't the partying; it was the alcohol.
That was the most sick I've ever felt.
Yeah.
That day when we were driving home, it felt like forever.
Yeah.
Remember that? And it took days to feel better.
Yeah, that was. We did drink a lot that week.
I think if we do it again, we should have like a non-alcohol, only psychedelics.
What fun would that be?
Well, very fun.
Well, I mean, I guess if you're doing
if I bring
psychedelics.
MDMA, LSD, mushrooms, and
I don't do any of those things.
You should. I'll make sure. Well,
you should. He says. You might not do it, but you should.
I thought I had this conversation in my head. I was like, if anything, I'm going to start you with, it would be mushrooms.
Oh, okay.
That's what we'll start you is mushrooms.
Okay.
Ready for that?
No.
Anyway, again, we're going to have KD joining us 6:30-ish. Basically, he's gone through a hurricane. Yeah, keep an eye up there. Let me know if Mark calls, or let me pull him up. And maybe
he's an actual refugee. He can't go back.
Yeah,
home.
He can't get home. He just can't get there. The hurricane wasn't that bad, but all the residual on the back end of it.
It's never the wind. It's always the water.
Right. If you can get through the wind and not have a water issue, you're good to go.
There were certain parts. We were watching the news the other morning, right? It was 3 feet of fucking water. 3 feet of rain. And then so then the storm, and it was a slow going storm. So of course it was able to deluge everywhere.
Just kind of sat there and spun and spun and spun.
But then it goes north and it goes up to the mountains, right? And what happens with the water in the mountains?
Runs back down there.
Comes
yep.
down, right? Goes down.
And then it's all going to end up down here eventually. Unfortunately, a lot of that. Well, not the North Carolina, but a lot of the rain that gets up there is part of feeding to our problems.
Whatever, man. It's just in Florida, having lived through a number of hurricanes here in Florida, we're kind of like, or I'm kind of like immune to it. It's like, oh, it's not that big a deal. But that's because we're built for it, We're on an isthmus. We have no mountains, and we're designed. We have, everywhere you go, there are all these fucking, what do you call it? Those little retention ponds. Right. We have.
We're made to drain it out.
Right. We have built-in dimples in the land just to handle an overflow of water, right? Whereas most of the people north of us don't have that.
Right. Well, they're not used to getting that much rain at once. And it's one of the things that brings up the conversation. The fake news moniker is always thrown around there, and that's the new thing. I mean, we've been talking about how the news has been controlled and lies to us for years. So this new fake news moniker that's been the main thing. It's nice to hear people pointing it out And we can go back to the first Iraq War where CNN was called on a blue screen in New York saying they were in the battle zone, and Hillary in the helicopter, and what's his face that just got in trouble for misremembering that he wasn't in getting fired. Gunfire wasn't being shot at him. And then, of course, we've been seeing all the great news reports during the hurricane here. The ones of waist deep water where the camera crew is up on the bank.
Well, turns out that's an old picture.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that turns out it was an old picture. So that Anderson Cooper fake news is actually old, but that doesn't stop you.
That doesn't mean Anderson Cooper's news hasn't been fake forever.
Right, but that one weather reporter who was standing there trying, battling the wind, and then these two dudes walk right past like nothing's going on. Every fucking year, every hurricane. It happens that they're augmenting reality, know?
They definitely try to play that game and make you think that... Where the hell? There it is. Make you think that... excuse me. You're going to see funny faces if you're watching us on Twitch because the nose is itching like crazy. And this is exactly the one Forto was talking about. I had to turn the... Is there no audio on this? I thought there was audio on this.
Look.
You just look at the guy.
You don't even need the two guys to realize that this motherfucker's faking it.
Right. Look at how slow everything's running down the road. It's really... I mean, there's wind. Don't get me wrong.
He's just like standing there. He's like...
Oh, it's so
right,
funny.
there's two guys in shorts behind him like, la, 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 la.
That's why there's no audio. This thing here, Dave, I don't know. I got to get through this computer.
The cameraman couldn't be like, hey, bro.
This wind gusting again over 60.
Behind you.
Yeah, I know, right? Or maybe zoomed where they weren't being there.
Well, you see that he zoomed out and then zoomed back in. He's like, oh, shit.
What did I do?
Right.
Duh. That was not right.
Oh, my favorite guy,
Grady. Yeah, well, since that popped up, we don't have Salty and KD yet. I got them ready to call them if they don't call us in a minute or two. I did say 6:30-ish. I figured we'd just have a little fun tonight, especially with how stressed out I am not being ready. But let's talk about Pasco County and that whole region. Did you see this one?
I did.
Pasco County Live PD star arrested for driving under the influence. This was updated. This just came out, right? It says updated at 12:07 p.m.
Well, the best part about it is that he was already on Live PD star.
Right.
First
of all, that shouldn't be something. I like to sit down and watch Cops. I don't think any of this should be live. If you're gonna play videos taken of these things going on, then that's fine. But live, is it really live either? Let's be honest.
So in my bicycle ride this morning, I had an hour to contemplate on things because I'm not listening to anything. It's just me in my head. And I actually thought about this. And I'm like, this guy should not have been fired,
Wait. He shouldn't have been. The cop shouldn't have been fired?
No, because in today's mentality is no one gets a second chance.
Right.
And I think that's kind of wrong because we're human. We all fuck up, right? So this guy fucked up, right? And yet he may have arrested people for DUI, right?
Right.
But I don't think he should have lost his job. Let's hey.
That's like saying
put him in a program, get him straight, and then he actually will then be the guy that you want to get pulled over by when you're drunk because he's gonna be like.
Erickson Howell's the guy I want to get pulled over by. Let's be honest here. But you know what, Forto, and I'm surprised we're actually disagreeing on this one. But that's like saying the restaurant manager that's fudging numbers in order to get his bonuses shouldn't be fired from his job.
Well, that's fraud.
Well, okay. This guy's put people in jail. This
guy's just being human.
Is this the same cop that ran into a parked car, got out, and started laughing about it?
Oh, I don't know. Is that the same one?
I don't think so. I'm not sure.
I don't know that story. I didn't even hear that one. But Dave, the main point is, okay, that's fraud. Fine, that's okay. The restaurant manager that sleeps with his waitress that gets fired from his job because his job's to enforce the rules of the
if he didn't fuck her on company time, that really
it doesn't. No, that does matter. It's just like a teacher. It does. Trust me, it matters. I was a restaurant manager fucking the waitresses that lost my job multiple times because I couldn't not. It's a leadership position. If your job is
hold on a second, does that make you a bad manager?
To a degree.
Were you good at what?
Sometimes
were you
I
good
was
at your
very
job?
good at what I did. Yes, I was very good, but it caused problems.
How does fucking the waitresses?
County Corporal Stephen Walker?
No, I don't believe that. No, this is Walker. Oh yeah, news of Walker's arrest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so what did
he ran into a parked car. Cops pulled up. He got out and started laughing. He thought it was funny.
Oh, yeah, here it is.
See, I didn't even actually read the story.
Does that change your point of view a little?
Well, if he's being a dick about it,
I think if your job is to enforce a specific law and you go out and break that specific law, you shouldn't have that job anymore.
All right, so all right.
If you're a cop and you steal, should you have a job?
Do you want to know what he told the cops when they asked him why he was swerving?
I would love to.
He said that he saw an animal on the road and he didn't want to run into it.
Oh, you mean the story he's probably got from 500 different people that he pulled over
I've
for
never
swerving?
heard that one before.
Yeah, I don't. That's a whole new one to me. Do you get the point? If your job is to enforce laws, you can't break those laws. You just can't.
But I understand that. But all right. So if a cop gets busted for possession of weed,
right?
I don't want him to go to jail because I don't want you to go to jail. So I am very much the same way. I don't think anybody should go to jail for possession of weed, even cops.
Where I agree with that, right now it's against the law, and they would put our ass in jail.
But I have to actually be along. I have to keep this line. If I don't want anybody going to jail for possession of weed, that includes cops.
Then let's change the law so nobody goes to jail for possession of weed.
That's my point.
All right.
However, he was reckless driving and hit another car.
All right.
So he caused a victim.
So that's what he should go. That's what he should be charged with
For causing a victim.
I agree.
Right, and he should make those people whole.
Right.
And maybe do some. Again, he would be a better cop for going through rehabilitation and staying on the job.
Right, because every other drunk that gets pulled over for DUIs running into cars stops drinking and driving.
Very cop that's going to give the lectures about, well, you should have planned ahead.
No, seriously.
An Uber would have been better.
Right, yeah. I mean, there's other things you could have did.
You put yourself and others at risk of death or injury.
Right up the corner over here.
You broke this person's car.
Right over at the corner here. You fucking ran around a cop drunk, right? And you got out of it. I've gotten out of drunk things too.
Oh yeah,
right.
Well, I didn't hit anybody either, though.
Right. If you cause property damage, then
they caused the victim.
That's the crime. It's not. For me, it shouldn't be the DUI thing.
So, Salty, what do you think? Do you think that sounds about right?
Well, here's the thing. Before we even get to that, I've got three things. Three things. A, stuffed portobello mushrooms with crab and smoked provolone. If we're going to do mushrooms at the next one.
Okay.
2, evacuee, not refugee. Refugee requires a different country to be involved. C, Dave augmenting reality. This ain't no Oculus Rift. And 5, disagreeing with Dave keeps people entertained and or drunk all the time.
Yeah,
so
he did.
What's 4?
And probably, I'm just waiting for him to say chemtrails are real now because I'm totally confused.
Negative friction.
Negative friction.
Negative friction.
No, well, all right. So here's the thing. All right. So,
but that's a provable thing.
Right.
Provable.
You made it up and then proved it after the fact.
I made it up, and I found
that's what most scientists do.
Right.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. He is from a different country, right? Because state, if you say state sponsors terrorism, right, that means a country, right? That means a government, right? So he is from a different, governing body that happens to have made an agreement to abide by the
negative friction all over
again. It is negative friction all over again.
Totally the same thing.
I'm trying to make a statement about how the fact that the states have rights, right? And it should be the United Countries of America, not the United States of America.
We can argue that, and I kind of agree with that to a degree, to a point. Anyway, I mean, to an
degree.
To a degree, yeah. I've had a very stressful evening already, Salty. So
actually, his voice sounds way better than it did 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, well, that running around, I think, got the snot out. We have on the line Salty from Salty Talk Radio. You guys can catch him Wednesdays and Fridays right here on Raz, Salty Talk Radio, and I think you're also on Chaos, aren't you?
No.
Okay, so
I can't afford the bandwidth. Quite frankly, well, it's not that I can't afford it, but I can't get it.
CenturyLink won't give it to him.
And he has the refugee in hand, or hopefully not in hand, because that would be disturbing imaging.
Right. Refugee means they're not going back.
As long as he's not in hand and he's not evacuating at this given moment, then we could probably continue with this conversation. But Katie from the OD or Kevin Dell on Twitter or Facebook or actually
OB, not OD.
OD. Yeah, I OD'd. I'm sorry.
Outer Banks.
Outer Banks, that's right, from North Carolina. How you doing, man?
I'm doing.
So we got to hang out on Sunday. It was a good time. We met the crazy fishing guy and the Colombian.
Yeah, those dudes were cool.
And
you
the
know?
crazy Colombian dude.
The crazy Colombian dude. The
He
crazy.
told me it was Cambodian. I was like, Cambodian?
He was one of those weird countries.
That's in Asia.
Is that Asia? Yeah, well, it begins with a C and an O.
What the fuck is he doing here?
So I was close.
We actually connected because I every so often I'd throw in a Spanish word and he'd catch it.
Right, yeah. Yeah, because he went on and did that rambling, and his buddy's like, he does this all the time, and I don't know what the hell he's saying.
Yeah, the other guy.
But you got to experience some pretty strong red tide while we were out there, some of the dead fish smell.
Oh, joyous occasion.
Yeah, you got to show the refugees, or whatever the hell he is.
Evacuees.
Evacuees. Just don't evacuate on the floor. What's going on down here? So we had to give them the full effect of the lovely red tide.
Could we agree that you're an evacuee seeking refuge?
Correct.
Well, he doesn't. He's not seeking asylum because because of all these individual countries have actually made the pact that they could move from state to state. All right, never mind.
Without papers.
Without papers, exactly.
Okay, we're meeting in the middle on that.
Oh, yes. Back to the cop real fast. JJ, he came in. He said he has a criminal charge. They sometimes hire them back. If the case gets dropped down, he gets treatment.
Right, and then actually he'll be off for a year and then get paid for the year that he was off when he's rehired.
Right. Yeah, so that's how that works. So anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to starburst. Kevin, you can't get home. Like, you literally can't get to your house. Is that true?
Well, they opened up 2 routes today, but the North Carolina Highway said that is dependent upon, and because everything was supposed to crest today, the Cape Fear River and all the other little estuaries and streams and whatnot that it feeders into, they said they were supposed to crest today around noon or something like that. But then what high tide was at noon, and then it's again at midnight, I guess. So that's also playing into a big factor. But they say if you plan your routes, plan it around the low tide, because that's when the rivers all go back to the ocean, and some of these impassable roads are passable. But as of yesterday, oh my God, there was no way into Wilmington, North Carolina.
Well, I remember I saw a picture of 75, and I know it's just one section, or 95.
95.
I know it's just one section, but that's a road. That's one long road that if you can't get through a section, you're kind of fucked.
Suddenly fake news.
It looked like a fucking river.
Well, I could have took the pontoon boat across 95 of that. It's one section, let's be honest.
It's technically closed down from the South Carolina border to the Virginia border.
Well, that's,
they've got it
by the government
the whole way.
Right, that's by the government, though. That's not by the flooding.
Right.
The flooding is what I was referring to when I saw that picture. I've traveled that section of road right there.
Yeah.
It's just weird to see it that
I'm
far
surprised
under.
Pedro's not underwater. Yeah, that's what I'm amazed at, because usually he gets flooded out big time. And during Matthew, he was under a lot of water.
Oh, you're talking about south of the border?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. But it moved more north than I think they expected it to.
And here's the thing: is 95 isn't that close to the water, but
not even.
Yeah,
it's 80 miles away.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of lakes and shit around the retention areas.
But for it to get flooded like that,
exactly.
it's significant. It's very significant.
And there's that little town of Lumberton that's right there where 76, 95 connect together. And 74, 76 is one of the major routes into Wilmington. And that's where they got it blocked off from that point into Virginia. In Lumberton, they've got 2 dams, and both of them busted. So that town is totally underwater right now.
Yeah, it's a sin that we a lot of people were putting down, and myself included. This hurricane was barreling at you at a 4. God knows why it dropped to a 2-1 right before it hit. We can go off conspiracy thought with that if we wanted to, but on the other side of that, it's just weird to see happening up there to this degree.
Right, like a Category 1 would be nothing here. We'd be back at work the next day.
Right. Again, that goes to what you were saying about flood control.
We were joking. I was like, they won't even close school for that shit.
Yeah.
Right. But it's a significant thing, and that storm is now heading to New York, which is
if it was a 1 or 2 when it was before I had left, I would have stayed. There was no problem with that. I would have stayed. But when I left, it was a Cat 4, and it was headed right to my house.
Right,
You
and
know,
I don't
it's
blame
like,
you for
screw this.
Right, I don't blame you at that point in time for leaving. Mark's
And
been through it
after
before.
what I've heard all my friends and the shit that's going on down there right now and all the crap, and it's like, screw it, I'm glad I left, and I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I got friends I was able to go to, because there's a lot of people, they're living in hotels and stuff and having to, buy meals for a whole family every day for a week, and it's like, unless you really got some good savings stacked up,
It's hard to do that.
Right, you basically went on like a forced vacation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with a good forced vacation. I mean, let's be honest.
No, I went golfing today and didn't throw my back out.
That's good to hear. I was worried about that.
good.
Last time he took you out, he broke you.
I only lost 2 balls, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't really need to know about your guys. Whatever it is you're doing with your balls, I don't want to talk about it. I told him when he got here, Mark, I was like, you just had to get away from the chickens, didn't you? You can only talk to the chickens for so long before you lose your mind.
They are rather entertaining, and they all have their own little idiosyncrasies and personalities after you once you get to know them. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Does he have any roosters?
Oh, does he have any? Mark, do you have any roosters?
Jesus.
Tell him how many cocks you got.
I got what are we up to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And they got
6 or 7 right now.
Can they actually be together, or do they have to be separate?
Well, actually, we have 3 of them, 4 of them actually that they 3 that actually live together, sleep together. There's they take care of several of their little hens. No problems at all. They hatched same time, came up together, all within the same little clique. No problems. It's the crossovers, the new arrivals that don't have their clique or their own little community. You can see they all break into like 4 and 5 groups of 4 and 5 and 6. Mm-hmm. And if they're not into something like that, then there's problems.
Right. Well, so one of the cool things I learned about living in Guatemala, because there's roosters everywhere, and they're cock-a-doodle-doing all over the place. It only takes, I don't know, 6 weeks for you to like not even notice it anymore. So like Kevin's there, and it's annoying because he's not used to it. Like I could probably go to your house and sleep there and not even bother me.
Oh, it doesn't bother me at all. I don't even hear the damn things.
Like it was funny.
It's like I said, even with the fish smell down by the Stump Pass there the other day, it was like, I could smell it, but it wasn't a big deal to me because I've been around that stuff almost all my life.
No, but it wasn't that bad. Like you ever been to the port of San Diego or San Francisco?
Dude, it's that bad.
I used to go to the Fulton Fish Market in New York City all the time and pass, but that's fresh fish. All right, what you're smelling here is 4-day-old sun-dried.
What you smell in San Francisco is 5 or whatever day old. It's dude. It doesn't bother me.
I'm just telling you.
It bothers you. It doesn't bother me.
If you had been to my house the day before, right, you would have smelled it. Like you came up my place.
I mean, I smelled it there the other day.
Yeah, like I said, kicking up here for some reason.
Just because something bothers you doesn't mean that it has to bother me.
Right. Well, see, that's with me, Dave. Honestly, and I can agree with what Kevin's talking about because where I smell it, it doesn't. Like I could have sat at lunch the other day, honey, when we went to go to lunch. I could have sat there and ate lunch and been fine with it. It doesn't bother me. Where it bothers you, it bothered her.
No, you don't understand.
Turned my stomach. I felt a headache coming on. My nose started getting itchy. I was like, nope.
When we were at Stump Pass,
not doing that.
It wasn't that bad.
Well, when we were there Sunday, it wasn't.
No, but I'm saying we were in a lull, right?
Right.
The day before, right? When I opened my door at 8:30 in the morning, right? It was this insane amount of smell that came out, right? And it doesn't usually start at that time. And then when Kevin was at my house, right, it wasn't that bad at night, and it wasn't that bad in the morning. He split, but an hour and a half later, 2 hours later, I went outside and I started smelling
it was kicking in again.
And it wasn't that bad, but it was a different smell too. It almost smelled more garbagey instead of fishy. It was just a weird fucking smell.
Yeah. Well, that might have been more of the red tide instead of the dead fish. Got to remember, we got multiple smells floating around out there.
It could be algae-fed red tide, whatever it happens to be. It just sucks that that
it does.
I pay,
and I've been to that beach, before with Sean and Mike Lewis and that, and that's a beautiful beach there by your place, and to see the water, how shitty it looks right now, it's terrible.
It's shit brown instead of nice blue.
Oh
green.
yeah,
it's so frustrating.
Beautiful tropical teal blue colors and whatnot.
It drives me batty with what's going on down here. To be honest with you.
No, it is. Yeah, I see Rick Scott got his ass booed out just for over the red tide.
Well, he canceled all his Collier. Yeah, he canceled all his Collier County visits. They booed him out of.
He's still going to make the Senate, though.
Mojo Real Cuban restaurant in Venice.
He's still going to be a senator.
I hope not.
And then he won't give a shit.
No.
I don't agree with that. I think most of the people in the state of Florida have realized this guy's an idiot.
Bullshit. Because when he was fucking elected, right, the first fucking couple of months, they were like, Rick Scott sucks ass. Rick Scott.
Right.
And this was even Bubba was saying, I can't believe how bad he is. And he got elected to a second term. He's gonna be senator. Trust me.
Money is why, and who he knows is the problem.
Yeah.
He's got all that backing of money and all the bullshit.
He's got all the money. He's fucking hundreds of millions.
Well, I like to believe that right now he's getting so much negative attention. I really like to believe that that is not going to happen, and that people are going to be smart enough not to vote him in. Although, like Buzzy posted about him, talking about how he should be elected. Did you see that, Mark?
About
what
which?
What is
about Scott being elected? No,
Yeah.
I didn't see shit about
What
that.
is that carpetbagger talking
Fuck
about?
him. I hate the guy. I don't. He needs to be exactly. That's the only place he belongs.
I'll get you.
That's the only place he belongs. I hate the guy.
And I just saw here, like I said, they canceled his Southwest Florida, his Collier County, which is Naples, Fort Myers, all that area. Lee County's Fort Myers. But he canceled all his events, and now he's up in Orlando, where, obviously...
Where it doesn't smell.
Where it doesn't smell bad, and people are going,
Right.
yeah, we're great here because we got jobs, and we got, all these people coming here because they can't come here.
They're all coming from the refugee status.
Right? I don't know.
Evacuee.
I don't know, Mark, if you saw, I posted a picture. This came across the South Florida Clean Water Movement page. There was a dog that got posted about yesterday.
I saw that. That's terrible.
That died, and they found the cyanobacteria down inside of him. Ate up his insides. So,
yeah. Well, Katie and I were talking about the people heading out to the beach and doing stuff at the beach, and I reiterated to him today how panic-stricken I was back even when you were walking up and down the beach a few weeks ago,
right,
doing your little broadcast thing and saying, "Hey, it doesn't look too bad." Well, science kind of trumps our eyes at times.
Well, it all depends on the way the wind blows.
And it came back.
Right.
Right.
Well,
but here's the thing. The other part that bothers me about it is they're saying, "Oh, it's I don't know what are they saying? It's a snapback or whatever the hell."
Yeah.
No, it's been there. The wind just
shifted
was like
around,
pushing it away. It just it hasn't. It wasn't. It never went away. It just floated off a little bit, and now, hey, it's right back in everybody's face.
That's one of the things I do when I walk out of when I'm about to go out of my apartment. Right, I look to see which way the wind is blowing. Right, to try to judge if I can go out or not. No, seriously, because when the wind's coming from the land out to the sea, it's fine. But when I see the wind,
easterly wind for you.
Yeah, east or west. Yeah. Right. So. If it's coming from the land out to the sea, it's fine. But if it's coming to the sea into land, it's not fine. And it starts early now.
Right, and that's why we had that lull 2 weeks ago, is because it blew it off to where I was seeing reports of 16 miles off, lines of dead fish out there.
There's a professional diver, or there's a diver that's been checking out, and he's taking pictures like the crabs, the seagrass, everything is dead within 10 miles of the coast. Everything.
So I got these two different stories, right? And I posted both these earlier today. We'll stick with the red tide for now. I mean, it goes kind of with the hurricane, because a lot of people say, well, because of the hurricane last year, that's why we're seeing the stronger red tide this year, which is provable if you go through history that the red tide does seem to be a little bit stronger when red tide comes through. But these two stories, both posted today or yesterday, it's talking about how...
Wait a minute. Wait, I need I need a verification on what you just said.
Okay.
Did you just say red tide is stronger when red tide comes through?
He did.
Nah, I might have.
He did.
I'm
No,
looking at
what
What you mean when hurricanes pass?
when hurricanes,
after hurricanes
after
pass through?
hurricanes pass.
He did. He did.
What was that?
I caught that. I caught that too, but I let it
Was
go.
that red tide emulsified?
It's emulsified. That's right.
It was
It's
emulsified.
emulsifying for.
Right.
But anyway,
Right. When a hurricane comes through, the red tide might be stronger.
it tends to be a little stronger. Exactly.
And why is that? Because water runoff from people using phosphates on
That
their
it
lawns.
stirs up the ground, the
Yeah.
shit in the Gulf, blah blah blah. That's what they say.
This is an issue that is directly influenced by man.
It's directly influenced by man, but it's always been a natural occurring event.
Yeah, but not that
Right.
bad.
Right,
It's-
exactly.
It's intensified because of phosphates and because you're feeding these things.
So these two stories come out, right? And they're both about how Rick Scott got ran out of Venice yesterday when he was here. And the first story says scientists say it is naturally occurring, but can be made worse by stormwater runoff polluted with fertilizers and other nutrients.
Didn't I just say that?
Yes, you did. So the other story, though, then this is excuse me, this is something that makes me laugh. The phenomenon is common in the Gulf of Mexico, but scientists said that global warming has increased the size and location of the problem.
we go.
Two different stories, scientists saying totally different things. One's probably making money off of the carbon tax, and one's probably getting paid to talk negative about Big Sugar. Who knows? But the point, I guess, the main point I'm trying to point out here is that I hate when this happens. Is that the science?
So do we.
Science has never settled. It's always changing. They're never going to agree on it. So when we talk vaccines, when we talk climate change, when we talk chemtrails, when we talk any of these things that are science oriented, we have to all agree that it's never settled. They're never going to agree, and it's all based on one person's research compared to somebody else's.
Well, all right. So what in this one with the climate change? What is their evidence to back that up?
There is none. It just says that's what it says.
Yeah, they just say it.
They just
and
say it.
Everybody's supposed to
All right,
believe it.
But the other thing is that the runoff is actually scientifically proven because you could actually see in Hillsborough County where I used to live, they won't allow you to use phosphate-based fertilizer in the summer months, right? Because of the runoff.
Well, Venice is also doing a not a mandatory but a voluntary ban on fertilizers.
That's a first step. And if I owned a house and I owned a house that was on the water, I would have no grass, right? I would have like those seashells.
Shells, yeah, exactly. I agree.
And because
I'd have a little grass, but I wouldn't have to. You don't have to fertilize it
I would have
necessarily.
I would have a couple trees maybe, right? But I would have no grass because now I don't have to worry about watering my lawn, so that's going to save me, right? B, I don't have to worry about landscaping, so that's going to save me $200 a month,
Right.
Right? And then C, there's the carbon footprint of the lawn care, right? That is gone. And so I don't understand why everyone needs to have a fucking lawn, or
It looks pretty. It holds. Well, how are you going to keep the dirt in place? You need something to hold dirt in place.
No, you don't.
Well, I think you kind of do. You get runoff.
Do you have evidence to back up, or is it just a feeling?
Yeah, because when you see mudslides in the mountains of Guatemala, it's because they've cut a lot of trees down and removed a lot of the ground cover.
It is not.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Actually, I have some
evidence,
tangible, physical evidence of this.
There you go.
With an improper base soil, if you don't have a base grass, it's called evapotranspiration that comes out of the soil.
Negative friction?
No, you can look this up. This is a no bullshit. I'm not fucking with you at all. Evapotranspiration. It's where the moisture in the soil comes up and evaporates,
I will give
and
you
there's not enough
$20
moisture
right now if you
in the
can spell
soil.
that.
And if there's not enough grass and not enough topsoil and grass there, the surrounding things like your peach trees, your olive trees, whatever the fuck, like we've got it here. We've got shitty fucking grass. We don't have enough grass to maintain moisture in the soil. So we have a very, very difficult time maintaining our fruit trees, stuff like that.
Leave it up to the farmer, because he was right. Evapotranspiration, the process by which water is transferred from the land to the atmosphere by evaporating from the soil and other surfaces and by transpiring evaporation from plants.
Yeah, you're actually totally removing the fact that I was going to say I was going to put shells down.
Okay.
Okay. Which would actually protect the ground from sun.
Shells.
And this, I'm totally pulling out of my ass. Right?
we can tell.
I have absolutely no, because I don't have a computer either. But that's all right. So that's what I would do. I don't give a shit. I would figure out a way.
Did I computer that one? That was right off the top of the old dome, man.
Well, seriously, there's got to be a better way. Because I don't want to have to fucking throw hundreds of gallons a day to feed this grass, and then every week I have to fucking use a gas-powered lawnmower.
That's what you're missing. You don't have to do that. If it doesn't need to be a manicured lawn. It has to just be the green growing. It also helps with keeping oxygen levels up and all that kind of stuff. So
they spray paint their grass.
You could still have trees there, right? Trees do just as much. What's that thing called?
They make
photosynthesis.
No, it's not. Well,
that's the process that converts it into oxygen.
Whatever that. I can't remember what the name of that is.
They make oxygen.
Yeah.
Giving oxygen.
So I would have trees, and the reason why I'd have trees is because it would shade.
I would
my
have
house.
trees too, and they would have like a 4-5-leafed plant growing on it.
No, that would be in the backyard. No, that way nobody could see it.
Well,
bushy.
Bushy little plant. Oh, too funny. Katie, you sitting in with Salty Talk tomorrow?
Probably. I'm probably still going to be. I'm not planning on probably making a break for it till like Thursday.
Thursday now? 'Cause I thought it was Wednesday at one point.
Well, it's still closed down, man.
It's now that the peak is hit and the crash is, everything's going to start mellowing out. It's going to be the biggest problem for them is the washouts. Once the water recedes, they're going to see all these washouts on these major roads, and the Department of Transportation has to go by and inspect all these overpasses and bridge before they can let the traffic back on them again. So that's going to take a long time.
And Kevin, not only that, as soon as they get the go-ahead that, oh my God, it's opened up, there's going to be 70 million people trying to get
there, right? Yeah.
Hell yeah.
In Hurricane, what was it?
They've already got
Charlie?
down to one route that the government, the state had told them that there was a route in, and somebody had complained, I seen on there on Facebook, that they were turning, unless you were non-emergency personnel, they were turning you away, even though the route was cleared to get into Wilmington, because they needed to get the essential gas, food, the electrical people guys in there and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, they usually don't allow in there.
When Hurricane Charlie had come through here, right, and it buzzed right through the middle of the state, up, and I was over at my mother's house over from Melbourne Beach. All right, so I stayed over there, and I was like, all right, let's go home. It took me 2 fucking days to get home, and it's only a 3-hour drive.
Right.
You know, and as soon as I hit Kissimmee, right, it was an 80-mile backup.
Kissimmee.
What I say?
Hey, the way it looks now, I'm gonna have to go to take 95 to the I-26 in South Carolina, where north is Columbia and south is Charleston. And I have to go north to Columbia, get on 77, go to Charlotte, North Carolina, take 85 from Charlotte to Raleigh, Durham, and then get on 40 and head down south for about 80 miles, and then go through the backwoods and sneak into Wilmington that way.
The upside, you can find some damn good barbecue joints back there.
Yes, there is actually one right on the South Carolina-Florida border.
We hit Georgia coming back from Tennessee, and Lexi at the Georgia Welcome Center, she gets this 10 best barbecue joints on 95 or 75 going through from Atlanta, from the Georgia border all the way down. So she's like trying to pick one out. She picks this one out, and we go, okay, let's go to it. We pull up to this place. It's in a strip mall. And we walk in.
No, the first one I picked.
Oh, it was like it's dead downtown Atlanta. I'm like,
City
fuck
Center
no.
in Atlanta, and he was like, no.
I'm not taking this big old van into the center of Atlanta.
You'd be like, what was in that movie, Chevy Chase Vacation, where they were stuck in St. Louis? It's like, you go down the street and everybody's ripping off our hubcaps.
Yeah, that wasn't happening.
Go see my cousin Freddie, man.
So like, oh shit, it is dead center in the city.
Detroit.
So she picks this other one, and we drive another 15, 20 minutes, half hour, I forget how long, down to this one, and we pull up, and we walk in, and the girl's sitting The girl sitting at the
employee
table.
sitting there, she was like, I'm just eating my lunch. I'll
Let
just
me
be
know
a
when you're
few
ready.
minutes."
And it was like they had this daily menu. So each day there was a different basic set of courses. And the day we went there, it was like all fried chicken
I know. I was
stuff.
like, this isn't barbecue. What the
It was
hell?
like, no, we're leaving. We ended up in a Mexican restaurant.
You should have stopped at the Whistle Stop there from that movie Fried Green Tomatoes.
We were too hungry at that point. It was too
Yeah, I was
late.
fucking starving at that point in time.
I
We actually
made
had some
it
good
that place,
Mexican,
yeah.
though.
I mean, the fried green tomato sandwiches were not that great, but the barbecue was okay.
The Mexican was good. We had good Mexican. I like good Mexican.
Me too.
I wanted to touch on one other thing with you guys while I had you. Mark, I haven't really brought this one up to you at all, and I'm kind of curious on your thoughts on this one.
Is this something I know about?
It might be. I don't know. No aliens. A mysterious FBI closing of Sunspot Solar Observatory.
Observatory. Fucking hell.
Is finally explained.
You need to grab Mikey again.
No shit, right?
I was looking at the story the other day. I didn't read the story, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on there.
Well, it was closed down on September 6th. The FBI Black Hawk helicopters all came running into this observatory and shut it down. They took everybody out. They wouldn't tell the sheriff department what was going on, and they also, for some reason, which brings up Men in Black, in my personal opinion, went to the post office and shut that down also. So,
Post office.
Yeah, so the post office knew what was going on, and the observatory didn't know what was going on. They transferred, yeah, they transferred a bunch of post office employees. It was just a weird kind of why are you shutting this thing down?
Now, do you want me to just come up with a random thought, or do you because I'm.
Or educated guess?
No, I can't even give an educated guess on that one. Evapotranspiration does not stick in this case.
Well, I'm surprised you didn't watch this one at all.
It's got to be negative friction then.
It's got to be negative friction. It's got, or damn close to it.
Well, do you believe in aliens?
I do.
Okay.
I can't. Are we alone? No.
You're an idiot if you think we are.
Damn, I mean, there's not a set of dice big enough that you can throw and prove otherwise. I mean, it's just no. There's other stuff out there. It's silly to believe otherwise.
Right.
It's just patent silly.
It's mathematically impossible.
Right. So, have they been here? Fuck, I don't know, but I would guess so, considering the reasonably rapid ramp up of technology we've had over the last century.
Right.
Well, no, it's actually better than that, right? If you actually look into the ancient Egyptians and the
hieroglyphics from back then,
We're descendants of aliens.
If you look into the Anunnaki,
I still think we are. I don't think we're descendants. I think we are their little lab experiment. I've been thinking this for decades.
That's exactly what the Anunnaki did. Right?
We were the experiment.
They came down here, right, because they wanted to mine gold from this
Stargate.
planet. Right? No, it's not even Stargate.
I saw that with Kirk Douglas.
Saw the movie.
I just recently saw the movie.
I thought that movie looked a little too real.
No.
It was a little too real.
They came down here.
I love that movie.
I do too. I think that's really how we got here. Honestly, I honestly believe that they're telling us the fucking dead honest truth right there. And underneath one of these little things we're gonna find, there's gonna be that Stargate because they had to transport us from somewhere. Either they took us from here and put us somewhere else, or they brought us here from somewhere else.
All right, so here's the theory.
It's going to be two little mice walking around in white robes.
Here,
Pinky in the brain. Today we take over the world.
Here's the hypothesis, right?
Yes, brain.
Here's the hypothesis that the Anunnaki came down here to mine the resources from this planet, right? But they didn't want to do it themselves, right? But they couldn't enslave the local monkeys to do it, right? So what they did was they got
the better monkeys than man.
Genetically engineered.
You are never going to get voted into office.
You said the monkey word.
It's just a hypothesis that I'm saying. I don't believe in it. I'm just saying it's just.
I was one of the white monkeys. Okay.
It's just an interesting thing to think about because we have the missing link, right? There is a distinct difference between primates and us, right?
Right. What's that difference?
That's the missing link, right?
Chewbacca would disagree.
It's the missing link.
Chewbacca wasn't a monkey. He was
He's a pretty big fucking monkey. Well, no, he's more like
he looked like a.
He's a bear, if anything.
Yeti, maybe.
Pekingese
Talking to you
dog,
guys is like talking to Raz
Knuckle dragger,
3 times.
Yeti.
Can't get a fucking word in edgewise.
You're not surprised, are you?
Welcome to the show.
Well, I could actually shut the Skype off. I have control of that computer.
See how that works?
See, I'm taking my ball and going home now.
It's just an interesting rabbit hole to go down. That's all. You know.
I understand. I've read all about the Enoki and all that stuff in the book of Ewoks.
Did you say Enoki?
Anunnaki.
Ewoks were on the planet wherever they were. I forgot the name of the planet. Endor. Yeah. See.
Endor. That's
and I hate Star Wars.
I love Star Wars.
Shut
I
up.
couldn't figure that out.
Fuck.
What?
Where's the red button?
Wait. Hold on a second. Did he just say he hates Star Wars?
Hates Star Wars. He said.
I do not have a red button available for KD right now.
I can't believe
this
I let
is
him
the
sleep
moment
at
where
my
I
house.
hit the red button on KD.
You are not allowed to sleep in my house anymore.
No, I'm thinking. Yeah, wait a minute. When will the roads be open? You better be there by. By.
They better open up soon.
Han shot first.
Son of a bitch.
Okay, hate was a strong word. I just never got into it.
Wait a minute. No, I'm not
Even
sure
when the first one came out.
I'm not sure we're friends anymore.
Never got
I'm
into
just
it.
not sure we're friends anymore.
I didn't have the lunchbox.
I know, right?
Stickers.
Sorry, I had to.
People say
no, that would be the Wonkies.
The
white monkeys.
The white monkeys. They definitely were.
Wonkies. Yeah.
I used to watch that show. I loved that show when I was a kid.
Yeah.
That was my favorite.
Yeah,
that was
mine.
my favorite.
They had a kick-ass car. I can't remember the guy's name.
And the Curse of the Monkey Paw.
The Curse of the Monkey.
Do you know that guy, Ness, the guy with the hat with the beanie? His mother invented whiteout. He went into that thing rich.
This one here?
Michael Nesmith's mother invented whiteout.
No, the one lower
Wasn't
right.
Beanie
right.
Head also the one who owns MTV?
Yes,
I don't know about that.
owner, but
Oh, really?
I thought he owns it or created it or something like
Michael Nesmith.
Michael Nesmith.
Yeah, he uses whiteout money to buy or to make a music channel that turned out to not play music anymore.
I know. I always get a laugh out of that. MTV, music television.
I'm like, why are there these MTV Music Awards? They don't play fucking music anymore.
Right.
It's just,
music isn't really music anymore anyway.
Well,
let's be honest with that too.
Well, no.
Look, and garbage crap.
Your parents didn't like your music when you were younger. So it's
my parents always listen.
Bullshit. Your father was a fucking disc jockey. I guarantee he didn't.
Well,
like
he
the
didn't
music.
like my music. My mom liked my music, but he didn't like my music.
because your mother.
But he played oldies also. Let's keep that in mind. He was
Right.
the oldies DJ.
So he thinks that's music.
I still think the best music came out of the late 60s or
No, that's
I
some
do
of the
too.
best music there is.
Yeah, I agree with that too. It's 60s, 70s is probably some of the best music ever.
Yeah.
And then I would go with late 70s, early 80s was some of the greatest music too.
Dubstep is the greatest music ever.
Jesus
Ew.
I
Christ.
think when we gendered into the 90s
Is
and
dubstep
started
still a thing?
losing the wheels off.
Yeah, well, grunge took us a weird direction. I think actually some of the best rap we ever had was in the early 90s, and now the shit that they have now is this mumble rap.
It's all about bitches and money.
Mumble
Bullshit.
rap, yeah.
I hate
Bullshit.
mumble.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Rap was conceived by the CIA to destroy the
Kind of sounds like our show.
family
It's not
unit
even
in the
mumble
black
rap.
communities.
It's whiny
Are
rap.
you serious?
What was that, Katie?
Ask Freeway Ricky Ross about that
it's
one,
okay.
about rap music and the CIA's connection.
Oh, well, the real Freeway were Ricky Ross, not that
Yes,
fake
the
guy
real
that's used in the
Freeway.
name.
Not that
the
ex
fake
guard.
Ex-guard
Yeah.
who stole his name.
Salud.
Thank you. Oh, I had to turn the mic off.
Hey, random question. You guys ever been surveyed on the show?
Surveyed how?
Like,
Why
get
did
a
you say
random
that?
phone call and you just answer the phone call and then somebody wants to do the survey?
No, because ever since the donotcall.gov site came out, I put my every number that I have on there, and I never answer phone numbers that I don't recognize. So no.
Well, no, I'm just wondering because what was it It was last Wednesday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was last Wednesday. We were answering the Raz line on the show. What, last Wednesday night?
So that was on the Raz line? I didn't know if it was on
Really?
mine or yours.
No, that was the Raz line.
Okay.
And we had a survey that
On the
was
air?
after-
On the air.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yes.
fantastic.
It was all. It was
Yeah.
really good. He posted the clip. Make sure you check it out.
Okay.
Oh my God! It was 24 and a half minutes before I cut the guy off. And he kept calling back.
And we were messing with him the whole damn time. We had like, what, 3-4 people on the line at the same time?
Yeah.
Fish, you, me,
yeah,
Buzzy.
So I was like a 73. I was the youngest guy in the group, and I was 73.
You weren't pregnant, but you were expecting.
Yes, right.
Did you vote Libertarian?
I don't even remember. Some of the voting stuff was in there.
Yeah, and Guatemala is our favorite country.
Yes,
Jamaica.
Guatemala and Jamaica was our second favorite. Dude, this I posted it on the Togetherness page. I think I tweeted it out too, but the a survey.
That's funny.
That is funny.
It was the greatest survey I've ever had in my life.
I sent you a clip the other day, Mark, and I'm going to play it here. I'm going to go take a break. I got to blow my nose, get all that cleared out.
Yeah, you sound a little rough.
Yeah, we'll do some more stories and stuff after that. I'll cut you guys free after that, but don't cut free yet because I want you to hear that. I don't know if you hear this because I don't know if you watched it when I sent it to you, but it goes right along, and you could really use some of that. I know, my little honker. I hate it.
Up, I guess.
Yeah.
Drives me nuts.
Nesmith would be very sad.
I could have canceled the show. I could have canceled the show and said, "Hey, I'm not doing a show because I sound like this." But I decided
I would have charged you for gas coming here.
I would have made you dinner and you could have shut up.
Hey, you know, if he's cracking the whip at you now, isn't he? Because you're local.
Every once in a while, maybe. Yeah, he's been fixing my computers a lot.
I come here like 2-3 times a week now.
Just to fix his shit because he breaks every time he turns.
Friday, I just wanted to hang out.
He just wanted to go over.
I was like, look, I'm bored.
Wait a minute, you want to hang out with Sean or Lexi? I mean,
preferably Lexi, but he has to deal with me.
Well, I started off with Sean, and then Lexi and I watched Deadpool 2 afterwards.
Yeah, I fall asleep early. So.
Right. Actually, we just had a Deadpool moment.
I actually have somebody to watch a movie with now.
Right, that stays awake.
That stays up through the whole thing. Anyway, I want you to hear this, Mark. So don't cut free yet. Once we go to the commercial, you could cut loose. But
is it a good commercial? Is it a sing-along commercial?
I don't know. I'm not really sure.
It's not a sing-along. No.
It's not a sing-along?
No, this thing I play for you is a sing-along.
Wait a minute. Does it have anything to do with the movement to get Florida ice cubes?
No.
Hey, we have to reverse that.
We'll have to play it. We'll have to play that one time. So, did you see that, Dave? His little Florida ice cube thing.
No.
That's funny.
Yeah, my father-in-law, he's missing a few screws every once in a while. I love him to death, but he is missing like a screw here or there occasionally.
Fuck you.
Anyway, make sure you guys check out Salty Talk Radio starting at 4 o'clock tomorrow, 4 to 7. See what he has going on. You got Trip at 9 after that. But we're going to take a quick break. Check out this little clip from Bubba here and his guys, and we'll talk to you all soon. Sit tight.
You reached the IRS. How can I help you?
Yes, I got a message on my phone that said something about a lawsuit from the IRS. I don't know what's going on.
All right, then. First of all, can you verify the phone number which you received a call?
Oh, yeah, it's from my burner phone because I was getting head from this big sloppy crack whore, and then you fucking interrupted with this IRS bullshit.
Is it your phone number? You received a call on this number?
No, not on this number. This fat whore was going to gobble my dick for some crack, and you called me on my burner phone, blew the whole deal.
Can you verify the home phone number?
Look, Haji, let's just cut to the chase. I know what this is all about. I've been selling used sex toys at the flea market for about a year, and I haven't been paying any taxes on it, so what's it going to take to get me out of this?
Sorry, $1,000 cash?
$30,000 cash? Listen, Vishnu, I ain't got $30,000. How about I come down there, do some snake charming, you know what I mean?
You need to verify your phone number.
No, look, I'm coming down there, and I'm going to gobble your king cobra like I was a rabid mongoose.
Then I need to pull out the case file. Is it the correct person or not?
Oh, I got you. Somebody's listening in. Yeah, you pull out your case file, and I'll diligently work on it and take care of it no matter how thick it is.
Can you verify your mailing address?
Well, I'm in between houses right now, so I'm getting my mail at the local glory hole. They're located at 615 Edith Avenue.
You're talking to the federal officer.
Yeah, right. Shouldn't you be riding an elephant and picking up sticks somewhere?
You need to get arrested tomorrow in the morning.
Tomorrow morning? I got like 100 marijuana plants I got to get rid of.
What is the first name?
My first name's Ned.
What is the last name?
Last name, suck Uncle Sam's dick, you dirty job stealing. Hello?
Yes.
All right, I admit it, Haji, I was lying.
Ned.
You got me. I'm actually a pre-op transsexual, and I make $80,000 a year under the table, cash, from fingering my asshole on a webcam.
Mr. Ned.
You got me.
Just stay on the line.
Take me away.
Wait for the legal action.
Oh, I'll be waiting, and you better send about 30 IRS agents, because I'm going to be snorting PCP all night long, buddy.
Just stay on the line.
What, do you got to take a poop break, you dirty street shit?
Mr. Nate.
Hey, what's up?
Mr. Nate, can you verify the last footage at social?
Eat a sacred cow dick, Sanjay.
So I'm just sending the cops over there tomorrow in the morning.
I'll be nude.
Just stay on the line for a few minutes.
Were you tracing a call? Hello? I think you hung up on me, didn't you? You son of a bitch.
Why did you say that?
Oh, you're eavesdropping like a little snitch, huh?
Hang up, son of the bitch, you say that?
Well, bring it on, VJ.
Do not call me again.
Does your lover's dick always taste like curry?
Hang up the call.
Or what?
Get arrested.
What's your handle on New Delhi Grinder, you Hindu twink?
Now the line has been disconnected.
Fuck you!
The courthouse.
Suck my dick! Fuck you!
Support for Marcy's Law is support for citizens.
Still there? Are you gonna hang out? Yo. SOWFLO. Yeah, FLO. Yeah. Yeah, they are. All right, well, go ahead, Mark. Do your thing. I cut it off now, and we'll be good. That's cool. All right, that's cool. Yeah, if you want to do that, Katie, you can stick around. Absolutely. All right.
You're listening to the First 52 on RazRadioLive.com.
It's actually the very definition of terrorism. They're trying to kill people for a political agenda.
It's just, a nicety.
So, just keep in mind, guys, that the news agencies are not there to tell you the truth. They're there to tell you what they're told to tell you.
You're still stuck to the American dollar, and you're still stuck to American laws.
So, I still want to have the freedom to go where I want to go if I need to go. I think that's the most important thing in my mind, at least. And this goes along.
If this is going to be another cum trail, this is going to be another cum trail.
I've got lesbians and he's got cum trail.
Okay, why don't you just move along?
Animals get in the way when you're doing a radio show.
What I think is they're going to have to redirect the American's mindset.
That would have been even more fun.
Yeah, that would have been a lot of fun. I want you all to keep your eyes open and your ears open on what's going on.
It's the First 52, RazRadioLive.com.
I just wanted to take the time to write this to you myself because I think you get a bum rap. People always got something negative to say about you, man. I don't get it. I mean, you guys do a great job. We should be more appreciative. I can't believe people say you a hater just because we call for help and you came an hour later. Maybe you was extra busy stopping criminal acts. Some even said you pull people over because they black. All of y'all do a great job keeping your scope on us. And I refuse to believe you would plant some dope on us. They had to be wrong if you busted in their residence. They even lied and said you created fictional evidence. I gotta commend how you handle situations. Shot a youngster, beat his mama and got a paid vacation. I know it's hard being you, so why would they question? In everything you do, we know it's all for our protection. Passing through our neighborhood, spying at night. Some consider it harassment and denying our rights. You had to have a good reason for attempting to hurt us, cause I know that y'all would never ever do it on purpose. Dear Mr. Policeman, why is everybody tripping? I just don't understand. I know you out here in the streets doing the best that you can. If I could meet you face to face, I would shake your hand. Dear Mr. Policeman, why is everybody tripping? I just don't understand. I know you out here in the streets doing the best that you can. If I could meet you face to face, I would shake your hand. Dear Mr. Policeman, them tickets you wrote for me costed over $1,000. Didn't think that I was speeding, but you got me because. And since I know you wouldn't tell a lie, I guess that I was kinda struggling, so to not pay them is threatening my freedom. Thanks for showing up to court to make sure I didn't beat them. And we don't make it easy when we see y'all coming. Instead of just letting you beat us, we be struggling and running. I know you hate it when we make you have to use that stick. Sorry. And by the way, that taser and that pepper spray did the trick. I'm still walking funny. Hope my vision kicks back in. I know that I was wrong, sir. I'll never jaywalk again. Somebody told me you was jealous cause that car was brand new. I said the police jealous? That can never be true. Maybe one day I can be as clever as you. You care about us, so you monitor whatever we do. Ha! Dear Mr. Policeman, why is everybody tripping? I just don't understand. I know you out here in the streets doing the best that you can. If I could meet you face to face, I would shake your hand. Dear Mr. Policeman, why is everybody tripping? I just don't understand. I know you out here in the streets doing the best that you can. If I could meet you face to face, I would shake your hand. Pardon me, Mr. Policeman. These cuffs are cutting off the blood flow to my hands. It's amazing how you kicked that dude all in his face and beat the case, even though they had it all on tape. I know you love the people in the hood. How could you fake it? And that missing drug money, I know you didn't take it. I don't understand why people accuse you of hate. I know you only follow us to make sure that we safe. I saw 9 of y'all against 1, beating the brainless. That 65-year-old woman must have really been dangerous. Cleaning up the streets is your top priority. You qualify for this, why would we question your authority? You only working hard following training. Why the hell are the Mexicans and blacks complaining? You gotta be the closest thing I've seen to perfect. And everybody that you locked up, they had to deserve it, yeah. Dear Mr. Policeman, why is everybody tripping? I just don't understand. I know you out here in the streets doing the best that you can. If I could meet you face to face, I would shake your hand. Dear Mr. Policeman, why everybody tripping, I just don't understand. I know you out here in the streets doing the best that you can. If I could meet you face to face, I would shake your hand.
Independent surveys show that Salty Talk is cheaper and easier to listen to than most other streaming radio shows. For example, if pbs.org is and houselive.gov is, Salty Talk is, or something like that, anyways.
Based on randomly made up survey information and data extrapolation out of thin air.
Salty Talk. Add a little salt to your...
I get in fights with people sometimes. I got in a fight with my uncle recently because he became a conspiracy theorist recently. No, I didn't know. I found out quick because I talked to him for more than 5 seconds. They're not as subtle people, those conspiracy theorists. It doesn't matter what you say, they're gonna hook you into conspiracies. It's a beautiful day outside. Would be if the clouds were real. Okay, good Lord. Look at what happens. Jesus. So his thing was aliens? Apparently, you guys, there's aliens here. And the government is trying to keep the aliens from us. Why is the government trying to hide all the aliens? Here's the thing. I have no issue with anybody believing there's aliens. There could be. I don't know. I've seen Men in Black. I like fun things. Sure. I'm in. Aliens. I can't tell you they aren't here. What I can tell you for sure is that if there are aliens here, the government should definitely not tell us. We can't handle Justin Bieber. That's one Canadian. I haven't heard one rational discussion about him yet. Think we can handle aliens? We can't handle Mexicans. They come from a couple hundred miles away. I can't turn on the news and hear people fighting about them. You think something's gonna come from another galaxy, get a job at Walmart, and Fox News isn't gonna flip a shit? Just be like, hey, it's a job for an earthling. That's an earthling job right there. MSNBC's just crying, just like, we're not being nice enough to them. We need to be nicer. CNN's like, does this explain that Malaysian plane? Because they're always going to bring it back to the Malaysian plane. That's what they do. That's what they do there. This is just on the job front. I'll do more. Are they allowed to drive? Are they allowed to vote? We have to teach them English. Who does that? Teachers. Who's going to pay for that? Not my tax dollars. What happens when a dude, probably from Florida, fucks one of them? Now we're over here. Now we're in this discussion. You ready, America? Are you allowed to fuck an alien? Is that okay? Is it bestiality? Is it gay? It's got 3 vaginas but 5 dicks. Sounds gay to me. It's Adam and Eve, not Adam and... And then we're in that room. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Gonna tell Aunt Mary about Uncle John. He claimed me as a music, but he had a lot of fun. Oh,
Hey guys, it's Popeye from FederalJack.com. You're listening to the First 52, where you can hear the inmates run the insane asylum.
All right, guys, welcome back to the First 52, RazRadioLive.com, Salty Talk Radio, Twitch TV /Sean Raz 1, Radio Confluence, Radio Chaos, God knows where else.
YouTube /Sean Raz 1.
Yeah, YouTube /Sean Raz. Periscope. Sean Raz 1. Periscope. Bubba Army Radio on Sundays. We're all over the place. We're just here. We're doing our thing. Having a little fun. Katie, do I still have you over there?
We're here.
Oh, we're both there. That's good. What'd you think of that stand-up routine?
It was pretty funny.
I didn't know he was going to get into fake clouds. I really didn't do that on purpose, Dave. I swear to God. You know, the chemtrail debate.
But he was right. Somebody from Florida.
It's going to fuck an alien. I agree.
Alien.
Yeah, it's going to be one of our dumbasses.
Yeah. Well, the first one was actually from Canada, William Shatner.
Hey, he fucked that green bitch.
Which green bitch?
Yeah, she was hot.
The hot green bitch.
The hot green bitch. Yeah, that was the girl that
okay,
actually
yeah.
played Batgirl.
No, that was her.
Yeah.
That girl.
Batgirl.
That was Danny Thomas's daughter. daughter. Yeah.
I don't know, but you know what? Something. The older I got, the more I realized, holy shit, that woman is fucking hot as.
Oh, he
fuck.
always got the hot girls in the movie. Come on, the TV show. Come on.
No, but yeah, they're gonna pick the ugly ones.
Well, do you know
like Roseanne Barr? You know what happens to them.
You know what, Katie?
She's gonna die of opiates.
I would swear you were staring at my computer. Honestly, I could swear you were staring at my computer. Forto, what's it say? What's the headline on my computer right now?
TMZ headline says Roseanne Barr, the Connors riders will kill me off with an opioid OD.
That was actually something I had on the line because I honestly believe that, with the. I don't know what to handle with Trump anymore because, it's one of those things where you're like, what is going on? What is the truth? Is there like the deep state as we've changed it now? It's no longer the Illuminati.
What's QAnon say?
Yeah, it's no longer the Illuminati. It's no longer the what else do we call it? Illuminati? The
Illuminati,
deep,
whatever, deep state,
deep
state, shadow government, whatever.
The Freemasons,
the shadow government.
Whoever.
Yeah, I mean
the cabal.
Are they trying to take out the people that don't believe in them? I don't know. I can't figure this out anymore.
This is the progressive left. That's eating their own.
Look at what they're doing with Kavanaugh. I mean, and it's a stupid playbook the Democrats go with every freaking time. I mean, they did it with Thomas, whatever. They always throw sexual accusations at these guys. Blah, 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 whatever. And it's just like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time with this whole Kavanaugh thing.
I mean, and I don't...
Crazy that we are forced to defend some of the things that Trump does.
Because
he doesn't do a lot of good
Facebook
things.
about that guy. Quit making me have to defend you.
Yeah, right, exactly.
He doesn't do a lot of good things, but the good things, in my opinion at least, are pretty good things. It's hard.
He has achieved more in 2 years than freaking most people, presidents have done in 30.
Buzzy.
Well, it all depends on what your level of achievement is, right? Because Obama had Obamacare, and
no, that was not an achievement.
Well, that's your perspective, right? So the 50% of the.
Why would you feel Obamacare was an achievement?
I don't
explain,
but certain people would.
A large majority.
Who would
of
be
people
these
think
certain
that.
people?
Half the country.
People on the left that wanted free health care.
Yeah,
wrong.
Half the country.
It's not half the country. No. Dave, you're a loony. No, half the country does not agree that Obamacare was good.
Face.
I would say probably a
16th.
I would say at one point in time there was a big majority that
Who won the popular vote? Was it Trump?
It wasn't Hillary.
No, it was Hillary.
No, it was not.
Hillary won the popular vote.
No, it was not. They said she won by 3 million. Baloney. You know how many illegal voters there were, and how many times that they were caught messing with the voting machines?
Now you're gonna fuck with the numbers, right? But
that's what they do.
3 million is nothing. It's less than the
let's just cut it. Let's just
Tampa.
All right, so Tampa's only 368,000. Right?
Oh Jesus! Whatever.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. All right. So if you lop off 3 million out of these voter rolls, it's 50% of the country went for fucking Trump and went for Hillary, and 50.1% went for Trump.
It's all a fucking stupid game anyway.
What I'm saying is that this country is diametrically opposed. They're 50% opposed on almost everything. Okay, but the thing is that the progressive right or the progressive left has the voice because those are the motherfuckers that are in media, and
exactly it goes all the way back to Operation Mockingbird and who controls the propaganda wins, and it's Joseph Goebbels was a master at that.
That's what a lot of we have gotten off that conversation. We used to talk about Operation Mockingbird. We used to talk about how
paperclip,
the basics. The conspiracy realm or the conversations that we have nowadays have been, even on our level, have been controlled by the events happening around us, and we've moved away from 9/11. We've moved away from USS Liberty. We've moved away from the Gulf of Tonkin. We've moved away from the Reichstag
and all
fires.
Are proven to be bullshit.
Right. And it's like these things aren't talked about anymore, which
Right.
Maybe
the
we need to
majority of
refresh
Americans
that.
know that 9/11 was an inside job, but yet those that were behind it,
They're
aren't
still
being
afraid
held
to admit it, though.
accountability.
You know what? A majority of Americans, which is a proven fact, because if you look at the polls, 80%, just like with JFK back in the day, are questioning the official story. Now, they're not saying it wasn't a crazy
job.
Muslim.
They're just saying that
They're questioning the story. Right, exactly. And that's what with JFK. 95% of the people questioned the story right after JFK happened.
And when you know when they had the big document drop on JFK,
there was nothing good
no
there.
News coverage whatsoever.
But there was nothing good in
that
there.
There was at least 3 gunmen.
Right. Well,
proven.
I went through a lot of that. And I couldn't find anything that really impressed me. If you remember,
hold on a second. You guys are focusing on these crazy conspiracy things, all right?
JFK's
not a conspiracy.
Let's focus on the shit that's
proof.
Kevin, let's focus on the shit that's real, like
JFK's dead.
Fractional reserve banking, right?
Which revolves around JFK's assassination.
No. Let's just talk about the shit that's real, that's provable, quantitative easing. You know, the fact that we are slaves to the dollar, right? Every dollar that's created comes with debt, right? Which we don't have to pay back. Our children have to pay back.
Well, we're paying back for our parents,
right?
Already.
Exactly. So that's
et cetera,
real.
et cetera, et cetera.
That is real. That's out in the open. Let's focus on that shit first, all right? And let's focus. So just today, this morning, I watched last night's Tonight Show, right? And they did this little thing about voting, right? Because they said, you know, the biggest section of people that don't vote from 18 to 35, right? And they did this little "I'm just a bill" kind of cartoon, right? Fucking propaganda, right? And he goes, "It's the way your voice can be heard," right? I'm like, no. My voice is not heard, right? There is no fucking politician that speaks 50% of the shit that I believe in, right?
Well, Ron Paul.
Is he?
He's not a politician anymore.
First of all, is he my politician? He was a Texas.
Well, you said any politician that
he was
speaks.
a Texas Democrat,
right?
He doesn't represent me at all, right? In the state of Florida, there is nobody that represents me. Okay, so I'm not voting for anybody, and that's the thing is that because nobody vote. I have no one that speaks my mind. This is why I don't vote.
Katie, is Mark still sitting there, or did he go to make gumbo?
He's making gumbo.
He's making gumbo. There is a guy, and I wish I could get his name from him, who is running for governor of Florida. It's not one of the two. It's not DeSantis. It's not the black guy. All right. It's I forget he's an independent.
Somebody else, yeah.
He was at a meeting in Arcadia. Mark played this on his show a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about Mosaic. And they were trying to get Mosaic into Arcadia. They offered, Mosaic said, "Oh, we'll build you a rodeo stadium to let us come in here." And this guy went into the city council meeting, and he tore it all apart. He put all the proper things in place, put all the facts on the table, and he looked at him and he said, "I'll be back. I'm running for governor as an independent." And it was like, that's the guy I want to vote for. I'm not going to vote for.
But he'll be squashed by. Big
Of course
money.
he will. But I'll do the right thing this time.
It's not even that. It's just that everyone else tells you, "Hey, don't vote for that because it's a wasted vote." Right? And that's part of the problem. You vote. Look, I voted the last time I voted in a presidential election. I voted for a third party, right, in 2008, right? Didn't go anywhere, and then I learned that third party was corrupt anyway. But I actually voted my heart, not who I was hoping to win, right?
Right.
Which is what you do in a Super Bowl, right? You don't root for the guy that you think is going to win. You root for
Who you want
your
to win.
team,
Right.
right?
Well, we've been programmed through sports and stuff like that to, pick the winner, who we think is the winner. And that's unfortunately how elections run right now.
Right.
Who do we think is going to win? Not who do we want, who do we think is going to win?
Right, because we want to be on the winning team.
Right.
Because so Friday when we were hanging out, right? You had said
You and I Friday. Oh yeah,
Friday.
yeah.
Oh, we were at the
At the old man guys meeting. Yeah,
right.
With
The
Chuck
the
and
elder
the
meeting.
old guy meeting.
Right,
Chuck.
there was 4 decades of people there. I love that.
That was funny. Yeah, we actually figured it out. There was I'm 40, Dave's 50. There was
Another guy
was 60. There was another guy was 70. There was another guy that was 80.
Well, he's almost 80.
Yeah, 79
Right,
in like a month and a half.
2 months he's going to be 80. So there was 4 decades, right? And all right, so I had to shut Sean up because he likes to talk. While the 80-year-old is talking, I'm like, no, he's dropping fucking knowledge here. We got to listen to this guy because he's got 40 years over us of. So anyway, we all come to the same conclusion. It's all fucked up. There's no there.
Go ahead. You're right. You're on it. You got it.
Well, all right,
it is all fucked up.
So here's the thing: that show that I watched this morning, the Tonight Show with what's his face? He was like, "Yeah, you got to vote." I'm like, "What has voting done for us over the last 50 years? Has things gotten better or gotten worse?" What do you think your answer is to that, Sean?
Has things got better or worse? They've obviously gotten worse.
Okay. Kevin, have they gotten better or worse over the last 40 or 50 years?
In a whole or personally?
Whatever comes to
However
mind.
you want to rate it. Right, exactly. Because
I'm on the fence. It's like, yes, it's gotten worse, but yet for me personally, it's gotten better.
So voting has made your life better?
Well, I ain't saying voting. But
that's
voting is not going to be, dude. I mean, voting has never been accurate in this nation for decades.
So that's
it's whoever pulls the damn strings is going to get what they're going to get.
So that was my question: is has voting made your life better over your lifetime?
Hey, KD, is Salty within shouting distance?
Mark. Obviously not.
Okay.
He's outside.
I think we found. I think this is the guy I was talking about. Bruce Nathan. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, JJ.
He'll actually lose the election just because of his first name.
I appreciate JJ. Well, you know what? I look at this page here, right? Bruce Nathan, military veteran.
You know what?
Genuine outsider and a constitutional patriot.
Hold on a second. I fucking love JJ.
I do too. He's always there for us.
Yeah.
Always.
He's like the our researcher.
All right, so this guy here, Bruce Nathan, he joined the military in response to 9/11.
Well, okay.
Okay.
That already makes him go down in my book.
He's an anti-establishment, anti-corruption, anti-waste, accessible, people before party, patriot, pragmatic, pro-life, veteran, businessman, faithful family man, fighting for freedom, loving Floridians.
What did he learn when he went to the military after 9/11? That's what I want to know.
Right. Okay.
Was it the right thing or the wrong thing?
Well, let's hear.
Which freedoms of mine were in jeopardy after 9/11?
None. But,
that's
a lot of us learn a lot of things by being programmed and made to believe what we're being made to believe.
Look, I'm not going to lie. I was all for bombing the entire Middle East and make it a carpet. Make it a fucking parking lot.
Parking lot, yeah.
I swear to God.
I guess you really can't make carpet out of sand, can you? Doesn't really work that way.
Right. But you could make a parking lot.
Right. A glass parking lot.
Right. So I was totally into that. All right. I fell into the whole thing. I put I had my CBR 600. I printed out a red, white, and blue flag, and I put it on my front windshield.
You've been in my house. You know what's around my house. I mean, let's be honest.
So look, I understand that people are emotional about things, right? But then when you realize, because I've actually met people from Vietnam when I had the toe cut off, right? I was in therapy with a guy who was in Vietnam, and we were talking, and I because at that point, this is like 6 years ago, and I was totally fucking crazy, right? So I said to him, I was like, "Hey man, which one of my freedoms were at jeopardy when you were in Vietnam?" He goes, "None." I was like, "So why did you go there?" He goes, "Because we were told to." I was like, "What was the outcome?" I was like, "We protected money for the system." We look, and now you look at actually Air America, that movie Air America.
Oh God, that was from Vietnam era. That was in Cambodia.
Yeah,
they were flying the fucking heroin right out of there,
to the United States.
Yep.
There was
Same thing with
let me give
Iran-Contra and shit.
Yeah,
smuggling the coke back in from Colombia.
Yeah, that's where crack started.
And you know what? One of the
Yep.
main guys from that whole thing has
And-
a Fox
Freeway
News
Ricky
show.
Ross.
Well,
And
no, you have
And which drugs are being protected now in the Middle East?
Poppy.
Poppy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bruce Nathan. Let's just do this real fast. I'm going to play his audio. Economy. I will stimulate higher wages and a better career opportunities by getting the regular boot off the necks of Florida businessmen or businesses so they can grow and compete with workers or compete for workers by offering higher pay and paid family leave. My patent pending, We the People healthcare will stop draining the budget and grow the economy like never before.
Wait a minute. So he, from what I got there, it was like he advocates a standard minimum wage, and he wants the businesses to pay for Medicare. Is that medical costs? Is that what I got? Read that line again.
I will stimulate high wages and better career options by getting the regulatory boot off the necks of Florida businesses.
Okay.
So they can grow and compete for workers by offering higher pay and paid family leave because I'm pro-family.
Okay.
Plus, my patent pending We the People healthcare will stop draining the budget and grow the economy like never before.
All right, so that I don't understand, but the first thing I understand is like you take your boot off, you can actually stimulate growth because once a regulatory comes off, you could hire somebody for $3 an hour.
Right.
And I'm not.
And if they're willing to work for $3 an hour, then let them work for $3 an hour.
Exactly.
That's what they want to work for.
Because they're working, right?
Right.
And B, I'm not paying for them to stay home.
Right.
So I make more. I have more money, right? And hopefully that guy that works for $3 an hour will work his way up the ladder.
That was only point one. Can I get to point two?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
What time is it?
Almost over. Security. I will be the law and order governor. Second Amendment rights, self-defense, school safety, gun safety. I will strictly enforce both crime and gun laws because criminal control works better than gun control. I will implement my school marshal program and maximize support for the first responders. Floridians first, I will end sanctuary cities. The demand of illegals must no longer usurp the legal rights of U.S. citizens. Illegal immigrants will not be allowed to vote as they in the Democratic blah, blah, blah. Child protection. I will fight human trafficking and the child sex slaves, which I think everybody should do. The wicked wing of the pro-abortion extremists pushing to increase. All right.
So
abortion is an object I don't even get into. That's not my right to tell a woman what to do. It's nobody else's right.
Mm-hmm.
Abortion, you kind of float me off on that one. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I totally agree with you on that. And actually, on the other side of that is like I shouldn't be if the woman decides to keep the baby, I shouldn't be tied into that.
True.
If it's her decision, then it's her decision.
Then it's her decision to leave me the fuck out of it.
Right.
I might have helped you
Right.
make it, but hey, I'm offering to pay to get rid of it. If you don't want to do that, then you're on
leave me
your
alone,
own.
right.
Right. Well, unfortunately, that's not how it works.
And well, here's the thing: is because if there's no public programs to help her,
Right.
what do you think her choices are? It's like holy
Get
shit.
rid of it or keep it and get the guy fucking screwed for the rest of his life.
No, just say that, like, oh my God, I can't hook the guy up for it. I can't hook the government for it. What am I going to do? Right? So I'm either going to raise this kid by myself with no help,
or rape the kid.
Or
Which
I'll
a lot
wait.
of women have done successfully, my dad.
Yeah, there are women that have done that successfully. As the
Yes.
other side of the coin, the one that got totally raped by a woman, and I mean that.
Right. So
Obviously not in the main term of it's being said, but
so what happens when you get a second kid like that?
I see. I offered it. I offered to pay for the first one, which I'm glad. Kyle, I'm so
understand.
happy you're here.
I understand.
Don't get me wrong,
right.
but
Me too,
when
me
she
too.
called me, I said, "Listen, I got a girlfriend, and I'll pay for the abortion."
Me too.
And she said no. I said, "Okay, well then I don't know what to tell you because I'm happy with my girlfriend." I hung up the phone. I was 19 years old, 18 years old. I didn't know any better. I didn't know anything more. She had the kid. I tried to work it out with her. We tried to make things great. We had another kid. I'm happy for that kid too. I'm not happy for the massive amounts of child support I paid over the years, but I stuck my dick in a poisoned woman and I got great kids out of it. That's the way it works. It's unfortunate But I agree. I love the thought pattern, Dave.
It's a hard.
I love the thought pattern, but you know what? Your dick made that, so you have to have your responsibility.
Well, I should be voluntarily attached to it.
When you put your dick in it, you volunteered to be attached to it.
That's like saying you voluntarily pay income tax. No, I should voluntarily.
No, it's not like saying you voluntarily pay. My cum didn't make income tax. My cum made my children. Okay, so it's not the same thing as saying you voluntarily pay income tax. That is not even comparable at all in any way, shape, or form.
Whose decision was it to have the kids? Yours?
Well, my drunk dick went in her and she got pregnant.
Obviously not.
It just happened.
It was not your decision. It was her decision.
Right. Listen,
so
if
it's her decision,
I want to stand up, man, on this one. But
no, seriously, you'd voluntarily stand up for that, right? Look, I'm on the same boat, right? I knocked this girl up after being with her for 4 months, right?
Right.
And
I was with her for 15 minutes, and I knocked my first kid out. Got my first kid.
She chose to have the kid, and I'm happy to have this kid, right?
Right.
And I don't actually mind paying child. I didn't.
You were
mind
with her
paying,
for 4 years, right?
No, I was married for 3. I was unhappy for 2.
Before the kid. How long were you with her before the kid was in her belly?
I met her in September, knocked her up in December.
Okay, so you were with her for 3 months.
4.
All right, I was with my kid's mother for 15 minutes before she got pregnant.
And you didn't give her a fake phone number?
Well, no, she was at my house. She was my best friend's girlfriend.
So here, you shouldn't have said that out loud.
Well, no, it's been said out loud many a times. Trust me.
But anyway, here's the thing: is like if they decide to keep the kid, maybe the onus should be on them, okay, to keep the kid, right? And I should be voluntarily.
But you understand the amount of money that comes from social services then at that point in time.
That's what I'm saying.
So you get to walk away and go, yeah, I blew this load and made this kid. I ain't paying Nick. You pay for it, nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Oddly enough, that's what happens.
That's what happens.
That's
exactly.
what happens.
And I didn't mean that racist. I meant that as lazy white man.
But that's
I said that.
That's what happens, right? See, so there are many people in our lives that pop shit out. Right, and then walk away, and we have to pay for it, right? And then actually, the women, each time they have another kid, they get more and more money, right? So they actually think that the kid is a source of income.
All right, just for the record, I've got 7 tabs here to get through, or 7 points on this guy.
Because I got to pee.
And I've got through 1.
I got to pee.
Okay, go pee. Well, I need you back to read this one.
What?
Well, go pee. Hurry up. Damn it. You can't wait. You can't wait 8 more minutes.
I don't even like this guy.
Well, but he's a better option than what we're looking at. Can't you wait 8 more minutes? You can't wait 8 minutes.
Don't you understand?
Here's a can. Pee in the can.
Don't you understand? I don't like falling for the fucking lesser of 2 evils. I don't like this guy.
He's the third of the 3 evils. He's an independent.
He's the third of the 3.
See, I know, right? I'm a military guy, so I'll look at a military guy. Rick Scott claims to be a military guy. I don't know his military background. I don't even care. All right, so, Katie, let's get to the second part of this because we barely got through economy. I will be the law and order governor. Oh, no, that's where we started. That's where we left off, isn't it? Florida first, I will end sanctuary cities, child protection, I will fight human trafficking and child sex slaves. Everybody should do that.
Yeah.
Environment. I will fight the toxic algae and be the first state to ban harmful engineered foods, GMO foods, in other words.
Right.
I'm good for that.
Yeah.
I am pro-farmer as someone who is married into the farming family, and I support expanding hemp farming due to the environmental friendly aspects of no pesticide, soil friendly, low water, and high revenue. Dave needs to hear that. He's like, I'm against this guy.
North Carolina's big into hemp farming right now.
I read one statement, and he's already against the guy, but yet I think that, or I read 2 statements. I think that third statement there was great.
You can't please everybody.
You can't please four-toed ever.
No.
There is no pleasing the four-toed.
It's been 24 hours.
24 hours? Shit, I've been dealing with it for 6 years. I've known it for a while. Yeah, I'm talking shit about you because you missed a whole major point here that I was trying to get to. You wouldn't let me get to. Environment. I will fight the toxic algae and be the first state to ban harmful engineered foods. I am
Bullshit.
pro-farmer as someone who married into
Bullshit.
farming, and I support extending hemp farming due to the environmental friendly aspects of no pesticides,
Read
soil
my
friendlies,
lips.
low water.
Read my lips. No new taxes.
Yeah, well, he's not George Bush. That's for fucking sure.
Bullshit. Every fucking politician is George Bush.
He's the independent that got run out.
He's lying.
JJ says.
He's fucking lying.
JJ says.
One guy can't make a difference.
JJ says.
Okay.
Bruce Nathan was against recreational cannabis, but changed his mind when he lost the primaries.
So what does that tell you?
JJ says.
What does that tell you?
Bruce Nathan, ex-Republican candidate.
He goes where the wind blows.
Well,
fuck him.
don't we all?
No.
You fucking go where the wind blows.
Fuck you. What is this shirt that I'm wearing say?
Taxes are theft.
Right.
What's my shirt say?
Stop wars.
All right. So what the fuck are you saying?
Are we wavering?
What's my shirt say?
I don't know. I can't see you.
What I'm saying is we don't waver, okay?
Right.
We do not waver. I don't give a shit what happens. We do not waver, right? This is the reason why we can't be politicians, because we don't waver.
Well, yeah, we won't get bought out and paid off.
Well, there's probably an amount that could pay me off, but that's why I don't want to get into it, because I can't do that.
I want to listen to his little.
Fuck him.
No, I want to.
Fuck him and his fucking.
Listen.
Holier than thou attitude.
Some of us have to vote. I understand
No.
you're going to run away to Guatemala and not worry about it. All right, but I have to do something in my state.
I'm moving to a country that's in turmoil right now.
Right, whatever. It's a turmoil where you could go cut the head off a guy if he raped your child, and nobody's going to really be upset about that. Okay? That's the
Right.
country you're going to.
So?
I get that. That's great. I actually like that idea. All right? Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
All right.
So there's
but I
justice-
live in a country, and I'm not able to leave the country I live in because I just can't do that right now. That I need to pay attention to what's going on. I'm tired of sounding like this because some fucking dumb fuck is putting stupid shit in my water and fucking everything up.
Yeah.
All right? So I want to pay attention a little bit and maybe try to make a change.
Yeah, vote harder because that'll take away your sniffles.
I'm going to fucking vote harder.
Vote hard. Vote harder.
Yeah, I'll vote harder.
It'll work this time.
It'll work next time, maybe. It never works, but hey, I want to play the game, okay?
Go ahead. Play the game.
Let's not play. I want to play the game, but it's not playing.
Oh, excuse me.
It was muted. I can't. I hate the sound. Smell that? Smell
You
that?
sound terrible.
It does. Dude, it's been horrible all day today, and then I got no audio on that, so I'm like, oh, I know why, because this stupid little thing up here. Hold on. Hold on.
Salud, amigo.
That was 2 in a row. Oh, I hate. I hate the algae. I hate the fucking everything. Allergies suck. Oh, see, I hate when they do this musical thing. It's talk. Don't give me music. Anyway, this guy is. If
He
you're
was
going to
born
vote,
into a Jewish family? Is that what he said?
that's what it says.
Oh.
Wait, hold on.
He's a Heb?
Really?
Right. So you say nigger, that's okay. I say Heb as a joke.
Well, you know, I lost a lot of listeners when I had some guy on talking anti-Israel long time ago. And I still talk anti-Israel, so that's why I don't have any
Yeah,
listeners.
well, I'm with you on that one because I'm more pro-America than I am pro-Israel.
All right, anyway.
He holds his religion heritage very close to his.
I got to look into it more. Like I said, I don't know much about the guy.
I don't look. Jews don't have like.
He's a veteran. I can deal with that.
All right, so here's the thing. All right, so Christians have Jesus as a prophet.
John Kerry.
Yeah, good point. So is McCain.
So is McCain. Yeah, that asshole.
Who's killing somebody? The Jewish religion. Who's killing somebody to make you believe in them?
Who? What?
Everybody's killing everybody.
No. Who?
The Palestinians are killing Jews.
That's
in
why I
the
don't
Jewish
believe
religion.
in religion.
I'm asking a question.
More fuckers have died in the name of God, Allah, and whatever.
I hate
the fuck
religion.
You believe in
Right,
than
right.
anything.
But all right. So let's look at this. Who is killing somebody in the name of the Jewish religion? Aside from Jesus Christ.
No, he didn't.
Well, I was going to say, they killed.
Pontius Pilate.
Well, and actually, that was the Romans. But
Right.
anyway, who's killing who? Right? Christians. The Christian religion came onto the Western Hemisphere.
Right.
Okay, and it eviscerated the Mayans and all these people, right?
Right.
It was either
I've got my answer now. Go ahead.
It was convert or die, right?
Right.
And now we know that the Muslims don't like people that are not in
Muslim.
line in their theology, but Jews are like, yeah, whatever.
Okay. So they're not eradicating the Palestinians. They're not taking over all their land. They're not destroying. They're not doing the exact same thing that was done to them in the 1940s and 50s.
But
they're not doing that. No, that's not happening.
But they're not doing it in the name of religion.
Yes, they are.
No, they're doing it in the name of they're just expanding their empire, right? They're not doing it in the name of religion. They're not saying
if that
God
was a bunch of Christians that lived in Gaza,
Look,
do you think they'd be doing the same thing?
I do not agree with what they're doing, but they're not doing it in the name of God.
No, because they've convinced you that they're not doing it in the name of God. Although that's their holy land, and that's the whole fucking reason they're doing it. That would be in the name of God. Hello.
You're right there. You're
Duh.
right. You're right. But you're
Just saying, Four-Tone.
Right.
Maybe your other toe needs to grow back, and the brain might kick back in on that one. Sorry, Bubba.
Out of all,
you know I love you, but
I know you're right. You're right. But of all the religions, right? They're actually
they kill less out of all the religions.
Right, exactly.
They don't rape any children, so I mean, we can accept them a little bit more. They like women. They get hot women. They like women. We should all be Israelis because they like to fuck hot women.
Here's the thing: when I was walking out,
not young children.
There was the thing when I was walking out. It's like the lesser of third evils, right? Judaism is a lesser of third evils.
Yeah, well,
still
I don't want any evil.
Still evil. Exactly. Why I won't fucking vote for this motherfucker.
Katie, have a safe trip, my friend. We're going to wrap it up now. Obviously, we've gotten long at this point in time.
I just want to say, man, thank you to you, Lexi, and Fort Toad, man, for the hospitality. It was great seeing you guys again.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed myself that day. You know, I really needed a break from everything, so it was a good breaking the monotony of worrying and wondering about crap back home.
I'm glad we got to
Appreciate
spend some time together this time while you were here, and you know it's nice to see Raz family, you know, Salty Talk Radio family. It's just nice for us all to be able to do our thing.
I wish I had a place for him to stay that was actually more fun. You know,
get some chickens next time, all right?
Well, no, it's just
they eat the dead fish, so it might not smell so bad.
He slept on a fucking air mattress, right? I had no food. And, you know, at 10 o'clock, my place smelled.
I bought you breakfast, bitch.
I know.
Oh, you didn't tell me about that.
He brought the fucking... So, the night before, we're hanging out and eating shit over here, and this motherfucker brings up McDonald's for breakfast.
Oh, Jesus. The worst of breakfasts.
Yeah.
I concur, but it's like, I'm new to the neighborhood.
It's like crack, though. You like it every once in a while.
Exactly.
I know.
I still have orange juice in my refrigerator because of him. And you know what? All right. So, hold on a second, Kevin. I just noticed this morning, you left Captain Morgan and fucking root beer in my refrigerator.
Oh, Jesus. The worst thing you do is leave alcohol for Dave.
Yeah, well, there's no more alcohol, but I noticed it this morning. I was like, son of a bitch. And motherfucker left it here.
All right, guys, you've been listening to the First 52, RazRadioLive.com, Twitch TV /SeanRaz1. Replayed on Bubba Army Radio on Sundays, simulcasted on Salty Talk, Radio Chaos, Radio Confluence. Kevin, safe drives home. I hope you can get to your house soon. And,
Thanks,
you know, we love you, man. We'll talk to you soon. Be safe. Everybody out there listening to us, as I have my slappy mouth, I love you guys. Be safe. Just fucking be human beings. It's really not that hard. Peace out, guys.
Let's investigate the consequence of a bittersweet loss of sense, a weapon in a war against ourselves. The setting sun is loading guns, don't be afraid of mistakes, emotions misplaced, to love or to hate. I don't know what to do, we're all lost and confused, just trying to get through in this world. Always trying to prove that we're worth what it takes, but it takes a long time in the dirt to see grace. When I'm trying to be real, they tend to be fake. When I'm risking it all with no time to waste. Fuck this rat race, I'm leaving this place. It's time to blast off, destination space. With the sunset hung behind us and the universe to blind us from the moon, we'll watch the whole world explode. Moving free, unguided through the beautiful, the silent, with the light show from a passing UFO. Lost in the glow of the unknown. Please don't go. And I don't know how I got here or how I'm getting home, but right from day one I've been in this alone, with odds stacked against. I've been drowning in stress. They said, can you take more? I said, give me what's left. An old man once told me, Allie, don't ever look back. Keep your eyes on that prize and give them hell to your death. This is a test, just a frequency check for intelligent life. Now it's time to connect. It's an SOS, the data's been sent. So now we just wait and hope for the best. With the sunset hung behind us and the universe to blind us from the moon, we'll watch the whole world explode. Moving free, unguided through the beautiful, the silent, with the light show from a passing UFO. Lost in the glow of the unknown. Please don't go. The sunset hung behind us and the universe to blind us from the moon, we'll watch the whole world explode. Moving free, unguided through the beautiful, the silent, with the light show from a passing UFO. Lost in the glow of the unknown. Please don't go.
Listening to the First 52 on RazRadioLive.com.
It's actually the very definition of terrorism. They're trying to kill people for a political agenda.
It's just, a nicety.
So, just keep in mind, guys, that the news agencies are not there to tell you the truth. They're there to tell you what they're told to tell you.
You're still stuck to the American dollar, and you're still stuck to American laws.
So, I still want to have the freedom to go where I want to go if I need to go. I think that's the most important thing in my mind, at least. And this goes along.
If this is going to be another cum trail, this is going to be another cum trail.
I've got lesbians and he's got cum trails.
Okay, why don't you just move along?
Animals get in the way when you're doing a radio show.
What I think is they're going to have to redirect the American's mindset.
That would have been even more fun.
Yeah, that would have been a lot of fun. I want you all to keep your eyes open and your ears open on what's going on.
It's the First 52, RazRadioLive.com.
Love you guys so much. Thanks. The First 52's the bump diggity.